Hello, everybody. I'm Anthony along with Leon and Marco, and this is episode 46 of Hard Knock Hawks. This is the podcast where we talk about our favorite basketball team, the Atlanta Hawks, and sometimes other stuff in the NBA too. Before we start, we would like to always remind you to like, subscribe, and share the podcast to help us grow. Today, we're going to be talking about a recent trade the Atlanta Hawks did. The Hawks just traded Kobe Bufkin to the Brooklyn Nets for cash considerations. The Hawks now have an empty roster spot and more flexibility in the future with how they want to handle that roster spot. To give some stats for Kobe Bufkin's career, the Kobe Bufkin played only 27 games in his career. For Hawks fans who know him, he had two big injuries in his career with his shoulder that basically sidelined him for much of his career. He averaged 5.3 points, 2.1 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 0.2 blocks, 0.3 steals. His splits were 38.3 from field goal percentage, 21.1% from three, 72.2% from the free throw line. And with this trade, we now have 7.7 million in cap space. Shout out to Brad Rowland for finding out that. So I'm going to start off with you, Leon. What's your general thoughts on this trade?
Well, the name of the game has been optionality, and they gained more of that today. Um, Obviously, they brought some guards in, and obviously Nikhil, who's a little, 2 or 3, and Luke Kennard, who plays the one and some two, but he's 6'5" and he's been around the league. Um, so we were kind of trying to figure out where Kobe fit in if you were going to be playing both of those guys, at least 40 minutes, in total together, like something like that. Then how does that look? How does Kobe get minutes? So uh, obviously we got a little bit of confusion at what's going on at the three. Maybe they use that to use the money they gained today to make a play at one of those guys. What about you, Marco? What do you think about the departure of one Kobe Rashawn Bufkin?
Mr. Kobe Bean, Big Foe himself. If Kobe initially got the surgery his rookie season, we might be having a different conversation right now. I mean, I don't really have much to say on Kobe. I think the idea of Kobe was always nice in people's heads, and when you're discussing Kobe, it's always like, hey, maybe Kobe could have been this, Kobe could have been that. Then, like I said earlier in the episode we did with Grant, it's like Kobe, like he did a good summer league, but he was doing that against as a third year player. I'm expecting you to do summer league like that. You had a okay summer league. Still had some mishaps that I didn't really like and things like that. And like I also said in the episode with Grant, you also gotta you also gotta factor in that you're going into your third year and they already picked up that option, but your next option was like 7 million. And for a player of your caliber, that's like real money. So it's like, do Hawks really want to pay you that real money? And we don't even know what you are as a player. So, like you said, the name of the game has always been optionality. I wish Kobe the best in Brooklyn. He seems like he's healthy. He seems like he can get to it. That's a place where you can really go out and show what you can do, especially with a team option coming up. So, wish the best for Mr. Bean. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, as for how I feel about Kobe, I've had some fun with some people on Twitter about him for a while, just kind of messing around and trolling. But realistically, the idea of Kobe was great. Like Leon said, I mean, the draft archetype is kind of what you're hoping to have behind Trey, and it would have been great if he had developed into someone next to Trey. It's just at 6'4", I think the big selling point on Kobe was supposed to be the finishing. I think he was like in the 70s percentile or 70% rim finisher in college, which can be hard to scout. College is college. So you're hoping that translated. It just kind of hadn't. The tools, I think, for it to translate at the NBA level weren't really there. The level of craft I think he needed to develop, probably didn't have the time to. He's a little bit behind. And just the burst and the lift, this explosion, right? He's not really fast. It was more of a smooth style. He could rush you a little bit, but I just wasn't seeing him beat enough guys in summer league to really have faith that he was going to be able to beat real NBA defenders. If someone were to put length on the ball or something, I think he would have a big issue with that. I think one of the more disappointing things is that the shot wasn't there, and that's probably to do with the injury, right? He's been out for a long time, shoulder's hurt, so you probably can't shoot. You're rehabbing, trying to rebuild strength. That can really take a toll on a player, and he had sat out a long time. And you really want to see the jump shot there for a guy that's under 6'5" in the NBA, or any guy in the NBA in general. If you watch that KD, LeBron mind the game, and they're like, if you can't shoot, I mean, you can't play in today's NBA. So I think Kobe not shooting it well enough, I think from three was an issue for the Hawks probably, and coming out of summer league, right? It's a big part of their philosophy. And if Kobe can't hit that three, especially coming around pick and roll, I feel like as a point guard or a guard in general, it's kind of important if you're gonna be a guy with the ball and expected to create offense, and he didn't really have that. The rim finishing was very worrying. He was getting blocked. The reads weren't really there. Passing wasn't great. I think as a defender, there's some intelligence there, some instincts, and I think that's always popped. But the thing is, it's just not that hard to find. And if I'm looking for a defender, I don't know if he's going to be 6'4". I want someone a little bit more versatile positionally. So the writing was kind of on the wall for Kobe when he was out for 2 years. You got to really look good in the NBA for them to pay you real money, and he didn't look great. So I wish the best of luck to him in Brooklyn. But yeah, when they signed 2 guards in free agency, the writing was on the wall.
All right. Thank you, Chris, for popping in and giving your thoughts. For me, I just think it's just really disappointing that it ended up for Kobe Bufkin like this. I was really excited that we drafted him, even though at the time it was a very controversial pick. I understood the rationale of the pick at the time simply because the defense of the team was just so bad. We needed a more defensive minded guard like a Kobe Bufkin potentially. But in the end, it's just sometimes these things just don't work out. The injuries just completely just derailed any development he possibly had. And like Chris, you mentioned the rim finishing, which was probably the main thing I think a lot of people focused on with Kobe Bufkin. It just never really popped up for him, I think. And that's probably the main thing I think is just worrying for him as a player, as a prospect, is the fact that hasn't really showed up yet, or the shooting, which isn't good at all so far. Even during summer league, where he had a high usage rate, he has not really shown that ability to shoot yet. And if he's gonna be able to stay on the floor at this point, he has to be able to actually shoot the ball at this point. I'm gonna be really interested to see how the Nets are gonna be able to play him, considering that they have just a huge glut of guards at this point, and especially since they drafted I think 3 guards. So, but I think this is probably the chance for him to actually develop now, since it's just basically gonna be a young team with a young taking team with playing minutes for him, especially if he doesn't get injured. I think I mentioned before that if this Hawks team is probably not going to be the team where he's going to be developed, if he's ever going to be a legit.
I don't know if there's going to be plenty of minutes for him.
I mean, you're fair. You're right.
They have
probably
8 guards on the roster. Right?
You're right.
10?
You're right.
Think about
it. He has to prove
the
that
Brooklyn Nets
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets are getting a point guard this year. They're getting one right now.
Yeah.
If there's not any indication,
like he has to
their
prove.
strategy is
Yeah.
in the year 2025, we the Brooklyn Nets are getting a point guard. That's what they said to the NBA.
Like I just realized that. Yeah. God, like I just realized that. Yeah, he has to prove that he can play, basically, honestly. And if he can't shoot, if he can't get to the rim, then honestly, dang, he may actually be out the league soon. Oh well, damn.
I mean,
I don't know.
You know what's funny? I think he actually
Damn,
dissed
laughing at that
somebody.
man's demise. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm not. I'm
think
just.
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think he was fine getting there, some, but once there, it was not great, in my opinion.
That's why I want to see what happens in Brooklyn, to see if he could possibly, develop his skills more, maybe. And I mean, if the team's like bad, I mean, he's probably gonna get a chance. I mean, I expect I forgot the coach's name, Fernandez, to probably play him because his defense may be good enough to put him on the floor eventually, but they're also gonna be focusing a lot on their rookies. So it's gonna be interesting. Like, I have no clue how they're gonna handle that rotation at all. Like, zero clue. Because like you said, Leon, they have so many point guards. Like, so many guards in Brooklyn. So at this point, it's just he has to just prove that he can be on the floor. It's just I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But let me move on before I just start thinking about how he's gonna get on the floor for like 20 minutes or something. But with that 7.7 million cap space I mentioned in the beginning, what do you think the Hawks could be able to do with it? Do you guys have any players or any specific roles you guys think we should be able to do with it? I'll start with you, Chris.
Well, I mean, for me, I think they're probably good on guards. I kind of like the main four guys that they have. I think they kind of hit all the departments you really need to. I think Nah does a lot of what you were hoping you were going to get from Kobe, but it's more proven, right? The NBA level shooting's there, the point of attack defense is there, so I think you're good at the guard position. You even have Veet to kind of back those four guys up if someone gets hurt, and then Keaton Wallace if you want to go further down the line for spot minutes. So it's about wing position for me. I think we're still a little short at small forward. You really only have Zach, and if he goes out, there's no real proven NBA player to step in there. You might end up having to move Dyson over and over leverage your guard depth. So yeah, for me, I would hope that it's a wing or maybe an extra big, just to kind of cover up your injury prone guys there. Someone 6'5" plus. I'm not going to be picky there, but yeah, that's where I'm at. What about you, Leon?
I mean, man, in the time that you spoke, I looked at the list, and it's not promising. So I would say that, obviously you've got everything pretty much locked up in the front court, in the deep front court. Kristaps, Double O. You signed Bassie last week. You still have Moji, drafted Ace Newell, obviously Jalen Johnson at the 4 as well. And Zach's going to play a little bit of 4. They probably don't want him to, but when the rotation gets shortened on a night where Kristaps sits, you'll see some Zach at the 4 as well. So I can't do anything but agree with you, Chris. Obviously, we brought in the guards we wanted. And you got to figure out something at the 3 besides Zachary Ricochet. What do you think, Marco?
Yeah. Before I get into mine, shout out to Omzi, man. It takes I didn't think he'd do something like that, man. I really thought, the Hawks was going to give Kobe that one more chance because we have a bad history of doing it with other players. So, shout out to him for really, knowing when it's time to let that dog go. So appreciate that. But ideally, I agree with Chris. You want somebody that's at least 6'5" plus. I don't really know how the Hawks. We already have our three bigs. I feel. You kind of want to grab another wing or somebody that can potentially play at the four again. I remember in the group chat earlier, I kind of spitballed. I was like, if K-Love gets a buyout, that's not a bad vet presence to have, and he can still play some backup four in spurts. I know a lot of people are kind of like mixed on Westbrook. Westbrook wouldn't be necessarily bad either because that's a player that'll go out there and do whatever you want him to do. Brings energy to the bench that we desperately would need, and he would fill a lot of roles. Now I know current Westbrook isn't the eye popper that people want, but he would help the bench a lot. I don't know how serious Ben Simmons is on basketball anymore. If Ben Simmons was somewhat serious, he actually would be perfect. 6'10", playmaking, that's all, and size. That solves two issues at once, two birds, one stone. So I don't know. I just want somebody that's kind of, tall, that you can kind of plug and play them in at least different positions. I don't think we're fully going to ever dive into the full backup point guard. Like we said multiple times on here, is kind of a group project now as the backup playmaking when Trey sits or whatever. So just get somebody big that can play. We can plug him in where we need to, and that's how I feel on it. What about you, Ant?
I'm like Leon. I'm just looking through the list, and it's just it's not good.
Torrey Craig,
yeah,
Cody Martin.
Yeah, I mean those are the only.
Torrey Craig, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll take Torrey Craig.
Yeah, that's the only real name I can probably say I would do, and I mean Al Horford still.
Well, you can make a trade. You don't have to sign a free agent.
That's true.
And Kuminga's down there on the list.
I mean, one thing that they've said multiple times is that they can go into the tax. I mean, it was a lot like when the Braves started saying that after they kind of turned over the rebuild, and AA was pushing off. It's like, oh, we can spend the money whenever
I don't
we want.
I don't
they
think
say they can make a trade. Go ahead. Look, I mean, if you have all these guys expiring and you're like towing the line and like trying to like decide if you want to go all in or not, you can go into the tax now, and that bill isn't actually due until the end of the season. And you can move that guy at some point at the deadline or something if it's not going the way you want. But I mean, they can make some moves if they want.
It's just I don't think they're gonna go for Kuminga. Honestly, I think
he's way too much for what.
Yeah, it's way too much. I think it's more like they'll probably get like a cheaper one. I guess I'm trying to just look. I can't really think of anything. I think the only names I can think of is like Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton. That's really it right now.
Malik Beasley?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we could, but he's
we know he needed money, but he's also a guard.
Yeah. Not a 3.
Yeah.
No, he's not a 3.
I mean, Malik Beasley will help this team though. I mean,
you just can't really go like Beasley and Kennard. Like, I feel like Trey and Kennard already need to be kind of kept apart. And you want someone that you can play with like either of them. And I don't know if Beasley, I don't know. That's a lot of small guards.
Good.
See, I get it, but I mean, we got Porzingis, we got a lot of tall guys on this team already. What we need to take Malik Beasley. He can shoot.
No, we need a.
I get we need a wing. We need a wing. We do. But I'm trying to see like what teams that we can trade with maybe that can give us a cheap wing right now. But
look, if we try to dissect that, we're gonna be in here longer than we need to be.
Yeah. It's just,
but like the ramifications for the Hawks, like full stop, are mostly money related.
Yeah.
But
optionality.
It seems as though he wasn't really in their plans, especially after he underperformed at Summer League. And
once you brought in Nikhil, that was it, kind of.
And Kennard. I mean, I think it was. Yeah.
Dyson, Kobe, you were gonna have to be LeBron to play over Dyson, Nikhil, and Kennard.
I mean, if he just shot
or
better,
some type
then
of Drew Holiday. Look, the defense just would have to be insane for them to deal with where the offense was. Because I mean, they just paid 2 real NBA players, dog. It was going to be an uphill battle for him for real. I don't know.
I mean, if he just shot like better during summer league, then honestly, I probably could see them picking him up.
And
fourth year.
the defense was just
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was
not good though. It was not good. He was fine on defense, which
He
yeah.
was not
in summer league,
good
bro. You're supposed to be
defense.
locking dudes up.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you
player.
are supposed to be locking
year 3.
dudes
Even
up
if it's
in
not
summer league.
like a physical thing, like mentally, he should have been like, you know, he just didn't pop enough. There were too many guys younger than him that looked better in summer league.
Way better. And like, didn't Kasparis like just have his best game against us on him basically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just nasty. It's just not very good. You know, he had a couple good games. He had some good moments, but I don't know. The defense left me wanting more because I expect that from him. And I feel as though as time has gone on, it has gotten progressively worse, which is alarming.
No, I know what you mean, but I do
scouting
think
L that taught me something for
I
sure.
think some of it. I mean, the legs might not be under him. Like he hasn't played that much basketball. It's really hard to sit out like of a competitive sport at a low level, let alone at like the NBA level, which is like one of the most elite sports leagues, like period, ever. So missing all that time, man, it's hard to catch up to these dudes that have been grinding. You're trying to like knock some rust off. Like it could be a year or more before like he really, because he's trying to become an NBA player again, man. He's had some injuries. He's been out for a long time. Like what's good for him is that the Nets presumably are going to activate the option, right? So even if he's like rehabbing and getting his legs under him for like the first half of the season and can like try to get on the court down the stretch and then kind of carve out a role going into that contract year, I think he's in a better position there than here, just because if you're not ready to like really go, the Hawks don't have room for you right now because they're trying to take advantage of an East that's missing like some big time players.
Yeah, I just really want to see how Kobe Bufkin does if he can actually manage to get a spot in the Nets rotation. Because I think he could do it. It's gonna just be difficult considering the gluttony of guards that they have right now. But I'm still kind of a believer in Bufkin FC. So, is anyone else a believer, or no? It's just me.
I mean, I think he could be an NBA player one day, but I don't know. Like, he's got to carve out his role. I think if he does become an NBA player, a really good NBA player, it'll be similar to the, Nickeil Alexander Walker arc. He's got to go somewhere where he can develop for a couple of years and, fill out a niche in the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang that jersey right next to Cam Reddish's.
No, yeah, I mean, and to
God.
that, like what Marco said, like
Injuries.
for me, when we get a player, like obviously you want like that rookie to be good, right? But you don't get too many more years after that. When you got injured as a rookie and didn't play, and you get injured again, like dog, you don't exist. And so you gotta show me something before I'm getting tickets on Bufkin FC again. So nah, I don't know. He's close to not being in the league, man. He's got to really turn it around.
Yeah, I just feel like it's disappointing how it just ended out for him. But with that, I think that's gonna end episode 45 of Hard Knock Hawks. It's gonna be a short episode today, so. But any final thoughts before we close this out?
Man, I really wish the Hawks could have got Jake LaRavia. I love me some Jake LaRavia right now.
That's true. You just want to play in California.
Respect.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He picked the Lakers. He wanted to stay in LA.
You got any final thoughts, Marco?
I wish the best for Kobe, man. Hopefully Hawks use that last spot on a good player. And, go Hawks. Oh.
All right. With that, we're going to end episode 45 of Hard Knock Hawks. Make sure once again to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We will see you then on the next episode. Aha.